Hey guys, what's up? I'm Ashley. Thank you for watching this video. And today we're going to be talking about a new Netflix original series called The Upshaws. But first, before we go any further, don't forget to like this video if you like it. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about this new series. Do you plan on checking it out or not? And subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And with that being said, let's get right into it. It debuted on Netflix May 12th and is created by Regina Y. Hicks and Wanda Sykes, and is also executive produced by Wanda Sykes and Mike Epps. They're starring in it and producing it. They're getting their coin, and that's what's up. It also stars Kim Fields, and you probably know her from The Facts of Life, where she played Tootie. And of course, we cannot forget about Living Single. So let's get into the plot of the show, which is, I got my notes right here for it. It centers on a working class African American family in Indiana struggling to make it work and make it right without any blueprints. Personally, I love the show. I thought it was funny. Epps plays Benny Upshaw and Kim Fields plays Regina Upshaw. They've been together since high school and they have 3 kids together. The oldest Bernard, the middle Aaliyah, and the third one Maya. Now Benny, he has 4 kids, possibly 5. We'll get into the 5th one a little bit later, but the 4th one that we do know about for sure, name is Kelvin, and he's like Aaliyah's age. Kelvin and Aaliyah call themselves ghetto twins because their birthday is like around the same time because, you know, their daddy was, you know, slipping and sliding on a break. Wanda Sykes plays Lucretia, and she's Regina's older sister. Lucretia and Vinny have this kind of like banter going on and this back and forth the whole 10 episodes. It's funny and relatable, and to me, if I could compare it to anything, it kind of reminds me of the show Martin, the way Martin and Pam would act towards each other, if I can compare it to anything. She'd be telling her sister stuff like, you could do better than Benny, and you should have picked somebody else in high school, but you chose this broke guy over here. Benny and Lucretia actually have a moment in the show where they thought they slept together because they was drinking too much one night. They woke up in the shop that Benny owns and Lucretia because she put money into it. Lucretia is on disability. Lucretia is on disability because she fell through a jetway at her job, and she used the money for Benny's shop, and she like invested in the shop all because of her sister. You know, she was helping her sister out and her husband and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, she owns the shop too. So the night that they thought they slept together, they woke up in the shop, and she was like, let's just look at the tapes and find out what really happened. Long story short, they found out that they did not. And, you know, they was happy. They was like, oh, thank God, like that. Now, like I said, I thought this was a great show. The episodes averaged about 28 minutes or so, and they all kept my attention. Like, for instance, in one of the episodes, Aaliyah was having a birthday party, and Benny was supposed to book a venue for it, but he didn't. He forgot. He was focused on going to Vegas. But then he ended up getting the hookup from his friend named Duck, who just recently got out of jail and has just recently found God. But the place that he hooked them up with was like a stripper-themed party. And mind you, his daughter is like 15 years old. Stripper poles everywhere. But the only problem is that his other kid named Kelvin was having a birthday party on the same day. Bernie had him as like a little oops baby when him and Regina had a little break. His baby mama Tasha is a little ghetto, but I love it. So he was going back and forth to each party. So Bernie would leave the stripper party to go to the hood party. They were shooting dice, eating weed brownies, being sent to the store to go get a bottle of Crown and some cigarettes. Benny was like, now hold up. You can't be having my son, he a kid, go to the store to get you some cigarettes and some Crown. What kind of party is this? It's not even no kids here. It was no kids at the party. And then it was one pregnant lady. Okay. Tasha, his baby mama, was like, look, she pregnant. That baby about to be popped out any minute. Then there'll be a kid here. Okay. Tasha and Kelvin ended up at Aaliyah's party. They saw it on Instagram. And they was like, okay, you over here talking about our party, but this not kid friendly either. What you talking about? Regina was mad because Tasha was there because, you know, they don't see eye to eye really. Regina mad at Tasha because, you know, she was sleeping with a married man and had a baby. And, you know, she's salty about that, as she should be, you know. Anyway, she was mad that she was there. Nothing against Calvin. She don't care about Calvin. He's innocent in all this. But yeah, she was upset at first, but then her and Benny ended up talking it out, and, you know, what they decided on. Oh, Benny was like, can Calvin come over once a week? to eat dinner with the family, and she's all like, yeah, that's cool, but the kids just can't go over Tasha's. Side note, Regina ended up being mad at her sister because her sister did the same thing to this man. She over here sleeping with a married man, and Regina and Lucretia got into it a little bit, but then they got over it. And if you watch the show, you'll see more about what that was, what that whole situation was, because she was out here sleeping with a whole married man, and he ended up being a little crazy, a little cuckoo in her head, and he tried her. But Benny was like, no, you ain't about to try her. I can only try her. And to talk about a little bit more about the show, about certain episodes without getting into a lot of detail about the show at the same time. They had episodes, where they showed Benny and his oldest son, Bernard, not getting along because he wasn't there for him when he was growing up. He had him at like 15 and, Bernard, his oldest son, was like, you wasn't around when I was growing up. Where were you when I was growing up? And Benny was like, I was growing up too. He had some animosity towards that. Then we have episodes where we have Bernard and Aaliyah explaining to Maya how Kevin fits into the family. She don't understand because she's hearing that he's her cousin, that he's Aaliyah's boyfriend. That's a whole different story. So she's like, how is he related to us? How does he fit into the family? So we see them, coming up with a way to tell her how he fits into the family. And then we have episodes where Regina isn't being appreciated by her job, which, who can't relate to that, So she's not being appreciated by her job. She wants to be chief administrator. She's been with the company for 20 years. She's having a review with her boss, so she just knows she's about to get this promotion. But then turns out they hired a girl from Old Navy for the position. And, she was upset about that. And I'd be upset about that too. 20 years? So she was like, okay, whatever. I'm going to go and get my MBA. So we see her, trying to go to school and focus on getting her MBA. But the family is a complete mess. She can't focus and whatnot. And then we have more predictable episodes. I already knew when I watched it. I was like, by the second, third episode, I knew that Kelvin was gay. I was just waiting for him to say it in the show. I figured. We see him coming out. We find out that his auntie Lucretia already knew. Like, she was like, I already knew when you was like 12. I already knew. And so I don't care. And then we see him telling his mom. He was like trying to tell her sooner, but then like family situations kept getting in the way, and then it wasn't the right time. And she was cool with it too. She was like, it's okay. I already knew too. She was like, it's cool. And he's like, how y'all knew already? Like, it's obvious. It was like, it's obvious. And his brother Kelvin knew. He was like, my mom was like jealous of your eyebrows. And then we just see him, kind of worried about telling his dad about how he thought his dad would act. And then he ended up telling him, and he was cool. He acted like he was cool about it. And then later on, he went back to Regina and was like, I love him, but I'm not okay with it. Like, so yeah, he didn't let him see that, he didn't really care about it. He loved him anyway. Period. Then one of my favorite episodes, I just want to throw this in because it's one of my favorites. Benny fixes the girl's car, and she was like, oh, to repay you, you can come to this restaurant that I'm a manager at, and it's on me. It's on the house. And so he brought his wife, Regina, because, they haven't been getting it in. And he was like, if I take her out to this restaurant, we're going to get it in. So they go to the restaurant, have dinner, and then what y'all think? It's not hard. They ordered all this stuff, and like, he's like, okay, you said it was on the house. And she was like, are you crazy? Like, I said it was on the house for you, not for you and your wife. And he's like, that's my sister. She was like, I'm no food. So gave him the bill, and they ended up not paying for it because Regina put a Band-Aid in the dessert. I was like, I already knew that the manager was not going to fall for it. She was going to be like, not on today, not on tonight. And I knew that they was going to get away out of like not paying it. It was funny though. It was funny. Predictable, but funny. Oh, the fifth kid. So at the end, the last episode, the last few seconds, a little girl knocked on the door, knock. And she was like, does, Benny live here? And it was like, yeah, like who's asking? And she's like, his daughter. And then Lucretia was like, not again. So overall, do I recommend this show? Hell yeah. It was funny. It was a great show. It kept me entertained. Kept my interest the whole time. The whole 10 episodes, I was entertained. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this show. Do you plan on watching it? Have you already watched it? Let me know your favorite episodes. Let's have a discussion about it. I want to know. I'm intrigued. So yeah, comment down below, like this video, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.